Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Criminal Justice Corner. Here at Criminal Justice Corner, we give you the real details surrounding the case. And just in case you find yourself in that same situation, we give you potential actionable advice so that you could potentially get yourself out of it. Today, we're going to resume our series on the Dolton election race that'll be coming up April 1st, 2025. And today we want to discuss the alternate candidate that'll be running that race, Cassandra Hopson Jordan. That is her alleged name that will be on the ballot. We know that she goes by many names, but on the official ballot for Dolton, it will be Cassandra Hopson Jordan. Now, the YouTube streets have named her many things, my favorite being Cassie Crash Out. So please know that going forward, that's how I'm going to be referring to Miss Cassandra Hopson Jordan, as Cassie Crash Out. That being said, I want to introduce the rest of the panel that I have with me today. We have Eugene, former law enforcement. Eugene, welcome back to the show. How are
Thank
you
you for
today?
having me. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And then we have Ken, who is also law enforcement, familiar with the South Suburbs. Ken, how are you today?
I'm great.
Awesome. And you guys have a lot of knowledge on this Dolton race. So let's just dive in. So Cassie Crash Out went on Facebook and she had a rant about a recent Dolton meeting, township meeting that she attended. I'm going to start with you, Eugene. What are your thoughts on her Facebook rant?
I think it is definitely a honors class in how not to win a political race, because you talking about the people you so-called want them to vote for you. I mean, I
Absolutely.
think she's running her campaign in a very strange way. I don't know this person, and nobody knows her because she's been invisible until this. She is an independent candidate, which is,
She is.
one thing we need to stress, because you have Democrats, you have Republicans, you have independents, and you have crooks. Now, we know that Tiffany is from the crook party. And
Absolutely.
that's one
That's
thing
been, yes,
people, Republicans love to say, oh, she's a Democrat, so she's crook. Ho, ho, ho. Crook is a totally different party. It's not a
absolutely.
Democrat, it's not a Republican. They're not trying to help nobody but themselves. But to be in the crook party, you have to say you helping everybody. You understand? That's how you
Absolutely.
get into the crook party. So it's amazing that Evelina is, really, we don't know if she's an independent or if she's trying to join the crook party.
Hmm.
Because how do you tell everybody to go jump? I mean, you
She
came
did
to a
that.
village board meeting
Yeah.
and you are mad that people came up to you and asked you questions? I mean, make it make sense, in her words. Okay? You came to the meeting voluntarily. They didn't beat you and drag you there. I saw you hanging in the back. So people came up to you because, hey, this is the lady that's running. She might get up here and speak. So let me go ask her a question or two. And you getting mad? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand the lady, Ken. Ken, make it make sense. That's my
Jump in
girl,
there, Ken. What are
the
your
leader
thoughts?
of the crook club, Tiffany. Make it make sense.
Well, you know what? I think it's gonna be it's very interesting that she's already displayed the lack of patience and so forth.
Professionalism.
Yeah, and professionalism to be a politician. And I mean, yeah, hey, this is Crook County. So I mean, what can they say? She's taking a shot at it. So I think she hasn't been deterred by all the recent investigations and so forth. It's amazing to me that I think she's just going at this. She wants to go jump right in, but she can't even tell that you're going to be questioned
Hmm.
heavily if you're going
Yes.
to come behind Tiffany Henyard. And the fact that she's showing no patience, this is going to be a blowout election. And I think that the worst thing about her getting upset about being questioned is that she probably has something to hide.
Oh,
I'm going to go ahead and say that she probably has something to hide, and that's why she's taking a defensive reaction to all the questions. Because she hasn't had any good publicity yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen
Well,
stranger things happen.
Well, the question really is with this particular candidate, the independent candidate, or I can't stress that
Absolutely.
enough because, she was scared to run against everybody else. So she got her own little party, making up your own little party, have at it. But the real question, because some people are calling her Tiffany 2.0.
They
Now, so
are.
the real question is on election day, is she going to be Tiffany 2.0? In that, is she going to get the same number of votes Tiffany got, 536? Or is she going to be 2.0, which would be 1,072 votes? 72 votes would be
Doubling.
exactly double what Tiffany got, which would make this lady Tiffany 2.0. Or is she going to be Tiffany minus half, which would only be 268 votes? Is she only going to get half of the votes of the people of Dalton, which would only be 268 votes? So that's to me what's going to be the most exciting thing about the night of actual voting. Is she going to get half of what Tiffany got? Is she going to get the same what Tiffany got? Or is she going to be the real Tiffany 2.0 and get 1,072 votes? Now, right now, if I were a betting person, which I cannot admit I'm a betting person on that doggone web, I would have my money on. I don't think she will get 600 votes. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Um, one of the things about her campaign that I'm wondering is who's running her campaign.
I was gonna say that. Does she even have a campaign manager? That's what I was
If
gonna wonder
any of the
too.
people that stood during her press conference, I'm like, hey, I mean, look, wear a suit, wear something. There were some people out there. I'm like, I don't, I'm not confident in their responses that they have any, background knowledge about elections. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even, I don't even really know her background. So it's just,
Well, I'm sure she don't want you to know her background
yeah,
because if you
yeah.
check her criminal record,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly, there is some stuff on there which we should not be discussing ahead of the election. We should wait till after she's voted in office and then tell all of the cases that she had after the fact. Oh, let's remember that. We have to say allegedly. We don't want her to sue us. We don't want nobody to run her criminal record. Do their research and see that she has multiple names. Oops, oops. I didn't say that, did I?
That
Well,
that is what they are reporting, that she has a alleged criminal history. She's going by multiple names in the public. So I think it would be beneficial for the residents of Dalton to do their homework before they go to the polls.
I think it's a waste of time because you just vote for Jason and call it a day. Because why are you gonna research, Tiffany? I mean, she talked like Tiffany, she walked like Tiffany,
Yes,
she allegedly has a record like Tiffany. What is there? I mean, the people, should just, you know, vote the right person. At least Jason has admitted that he made wrongs in the past as far as following Tiffany, but you got to give him credit because he realized all of the trustees realized early on that Tiffany was a train wreck. That's
right.
why they got behind the recall effort. So for her to walk around the neighborhood and show bad properties specifically and
Yes,
talk bad about the people and their property and the neighborhood that she wants to be the mayor of
she
is
does.
the strangest campaign I've ever seen. She cannot seriously want to win because pointing out everything bad and blaming it all on Jason House
Mm-hmm.
predominantly while not saying anything about Tiffany. In the average 30 minutes, she'll say Jason House's name 30 to 50 times. But Tiffany's name, she will say it less than 3 or 4 times. That's a pretty strange thing considering he was part of the recall effort to get rid of the mayor so he could have actual control. So it's a
Right.
really strange campaign. And this lady is truly not serious.
Not
no,
only that, she is threatening the residents who she wants to reign over. How does that make any sense? She literally told them to not come in her personal space because they did not want to find out what would happen in that case. How does that work?
Yeah,
Those were her
yeah,
exact words. How does that
that's
work
a
if you're
very
trying to
strange
be a
thing. And I
professional
think
candidate, if you're trying
personally
to be a
she's
mayor?
kind
How
of
do you want
whether
them to
she
vote for
probably
you
will
if
not
you're
admit it,
threatening them?
she's
And
probably
specifically,
very
she said
definitely
seniors.
afraid of people and does not
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
be exposed
one,
of being
she's
a
yeah, she's definitely said some things like, yeah, don't run up on me, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I thought that was that's not the open door policy that people
It's
look
not.
for to elect our public officials. And I think that she's taking more of a street hood hard
exactly.
approach. And
Yes.
I don't think she's gonna win. She's trying to be different than Jason, but but she's looking more like Tiffany. So it's going to be interesting to see some of the things that she say. And you're right. She did not mention anything, not too much about Tiffany. She just got on the news one time when they were trying to remove her from the ballot. She got on the news and said, "Well, I'm not surprised." And we'll see if the best, if the best man or woman wins. I thought that was a little soft, for a response that, hey, hey, you just had a victory. Now you're on the ballot. So now, depending on the outcome of the primaries, you're going to be the one. Whoever wins against you, and she could have took that opportunity to paint a very positive picture and hopeful picture for the city of Dolton. And
Mm-hmm.
and maybe throw in a couple of suggestions. If she was smart, she would have used every single media opportunity as free advertisement. But she
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
had, she didn't do it. She chose to um, give us a preview of what we would really be looking at. You know, I'm glad I don't live in Dolton. You know, I I tell you what, it's something. And it's sad because I would, like I said, stranger things have happened. There's been situations where I mean, come on now, there's been elections where the worst opponent that you can imagine has
Yes,
won.
it
You know,
has.
so I'm hoping that she can, makes a positive outcome out of all this free publicity she's getting. But I really don't think she's gonna be able to make the cut. And I don't even think she's gonna get 100 votes.
Well, I think that's a good prognostication. I really believe that is possible. She said that she had approximately 800 signatures to qualify to get on the ballot. She had, because they challenged her, so she had about 800 valid signatures. She also said that she hand wrote thank you letters to each of the 800 people that signed her petition.
Petition. Mm-hmm.
Like, give me a break.
I've
You
never heard
don't
of that.
have time for that if you
No,
running for mayor of a whole town.
absolutely
Those
not.
800 people, hopefully they like you. Let's just say hopefully. Most of them probably said, well, hey, give her a chance. She ain't gonna win. What's the difference? Which
Right.
we all have done that before. It's not a big deal. But to sit down and write them all thank you letters and to mention that on your YouTube or whatever, like that's a badge of honor. It's unbelievable. So, I think 800 is truly her high watermark. I don't think she'll get over 800, but with the way she has come off so far, which I don't see any way she's going to be changing because you are who you are, I
Absolutely.
would say less than Tiffany's 536 is a good bet. It's a very good bet.
Yeah, I think most of the people they're probably in that they're going to vote for Tiffany may just go and vote for her. You know, uh,
I
that's what I'm.
don't think so because she talking about the seniors,
Yes.
threatening people. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah,
And let's say out of Tiffany's 536, we got to be honest, a good majority of them were seniors because
Yes, they were.
Tiffany,
That's true.
that big bingo, you know what I mean? So they all over that big bingo.
you know,
They gonna but
yeah, I agree. I think that one of the main things that she's not thinking about is that she's gonna the Department of Justice is gonna open up an investigation on her, even if she wins, because now they're gonna keep a close eye on Dolton.
Mm-hmm.
They've investigated Tiffany. They've
Right.
investigated Jason, of course, because he made the complaint, so to speak. Um, Anyone that comes in there is going to actually get investigated by the Department of Justice, and she has to, if she don't like questions. Oh man, they're gonna do her like Eric Adams in New York. He had investigations going on long before he became mayor, and he still became mayor of New York. And then they want to come and indict him, over donate campaign donations. So I think that she may feel like, hey, I haven't done anything. I'm just surprised that seeing this makes me want to get 800 signatures somewhere. I'm just saying.
You think you can do it too?
I don't know. I'm just saying. At least I could go on there and
You can
I'm
try.
saying try, because
Okay.
really,
Okay.
if she can get on the ballot and get in front of news cameras, get all this free publicity. Oh,
But it's
Absolutely.
not. It's for her. It's totally bad publicity
It is.
because she's too. I mean, I think her and Tiffany went to school together because their education level is real close. They talk crazy together. They mispronounce words together. They really not that smart. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing that you think you can win by basically cursing out the people that you want to vote for you.
I
What
don't
strategy
understand
is
that.
that?
I
that's
don't
true.
understand that.
We have to offer our community something better than that.
Absolutely.
I think that we and I'm not saying we as, because I'm not a Dalton resident, but I believe that as anyone running should have in the mindset to have something to offer the community.
Mm-hmm.
And being that it's unfortunate, this is black communities who've been having problems, and it just really further goes along those lines of the type of publicity black politicians have received in the past. As being always finding something they can find corrupt about them, or I just think that no one has guided this woman to move forward in a campaign that will not remind you of Tiffany Henyard or any corrupt politician. That in Illinois of all cases.
Exactly.
All places. So
Because we have a lot.
it's
But
just
if
so.
but if you like, I shut up and just listen to her talk. And if you listen to, let's say, 5 minutes of Tiffany, because Tiffany will give you 5 minutes with no problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
If you listen to 5 minutes of Tiffany and then turn it off and then listen to 5 minutes of this lady, Cassandra, whatever her name is, because she switches it all the time, and listen to this lady for 5 minutes, you really see that, oh yeah, they are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
And I would be shocked if we didn't find out sooner or later that they are heavily acquainted with each other because they talk very similar. And that's why she said, I'm not Tiffany. You can't just come up on me. I'm not Tiffany. Oh, whoa. What do you know about Tiffany that we don't know? And how do we know that people run up on Tiffany? And is Tiffany saying that's a problem? Because, you know, Tiffany ran up in a fight. Now,
Yes, she
give me a
did.
break. Okay, Tiffany's sitting here at a table. There was a fight, and she ran to the fight
She
with
did.
grown men who have
She
been
did.
to prison.
She
You ran up
did.
into a fight with grown men who've been to prison, which, hey, Tiffany love her man, fine. But Cassandra, are you tough like that? Okay? Are you tough like that?
yeah.
Three grown men fighting on it. These boys been to prison, so they can fight to some level. And here you are, female, which, somebody should have gave Tiffany an elbow. But hey, I didn't say that. You know what I mean?
Right.
The point is, this lady is a pretender, and I'll be shocked if she get close to Tiffany's numbers.
Now I
Oh,
want to switch it up just a bit to talk about Cassie Crash's Crash Out's interview with Regina Waldrop from Channel 5 News. So in that rant, she was talking about Regina Waldrop, and the next thing you know, she's being interviewed by her. And Regina was asking her different questions, and she was not given substantive answers. So what about that? How are you a politician wanting to be the mayor, wanting to be over these constituents, and you're not given answers that provide any value, provide any substance to what you're going to do, anything about your plan for the city of Dolton?
Now
Well,
that's one reason I think that she studied under Tiffany, and I think they had talks. Because think about it for a second, which now that it's over with, we can think about it. Tiffany was alleged to have taken those people's money
Mm-hmm.
and wasted it. She
Yes,
took their money and wasted it. And she went through the whole year of them allegations and never once in her campaign, not even the day before the campaign, when she said, I'm dropping receipts, I'm dropping the receipts, I'm dropping receipts. Never once did she tell the people, I didn't steal your money. She never ever said, I didn't steal your.
she
I,
did say,
I
you're
mean,
right.
I mean, how could you 536 people, and I'm going to be nice and call the 536 to vote for her people, vote for this lady when it's alleged she stole your money, and you have the audacity to punch a button for her, and she never even denied it. She said fake news, fake news. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, we understand it's fake news. What about our money? Where's our money, Tiffany? Just okay. Well, I understand they talk a lot of fake news. Okay, but where's the money, Tiffany? They said that we got a whole bunch of bills that ain't been paid, Tiffany. So where is the money? And to think you could run for office and not even deny that you stole from these people, it's just incredible. Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you,
well, no,
Ken.
it's a good point. I think that, and that reporter from Channel 5, I remember watching an expose that she did, and she stated, "Hey, I grew up out here."
She
Yeah.
did.
She is, she's a tough lady. So I'm sure she heard about the comments and said, you know what, I'm gonna get her on here and interview her and cut into her, you know, and just expose her and put her in the hot seat, and she doesn't understand that in a political position, these numbers are open to Freedom of Information Act, and
Mm-hmm.
so people can find out what you spent, where the money went. You're going to be asked a lot of questions. This is the last job that you need to have if you don't like to be questioned, because they're going to question every single thing you do, every
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
single dollar, every single penny. No one's going to turn over and give you the gavel and say, hey, go ahead and rule on. We won't ask any questions. We're not going to say anything. We're just going to follow your lead. It doesn't work. And she was exposed in that interview. Basically, I think the interview really was just to show the in-depthness of her thinking when it comes to trying to become the mayor.
Which is
Next,
surface
there'll be
level.
another. She's going to comment and have another, uh, interview or expose about this woman. But she's waiting. She's waiting. She's smart. She's waiting. So it's gonna come, and I mean, hey, Channel 5 is all over it, and I'm surprised they gave this lady like 40 minutes of
They did.
she had
Screen
a,
time.
yeah, oh man, she gave her a lot of time. So they're dedicated, and I think, hey, the news stations are all on this because they knew that this is something hot. It's gonna be
Yeah,
hot.
because it's free entertainment. They love
Yeah.
free entertainment right here in the town. You can't beat this. We ain't got to go to Washington, D.C. for foolishness. We
Yeah,
can go to Dalton, Illinois for foolishness. We can go
yeah,
to Harvey for foolishness. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. They're
Clickbait.
showing up in those news trucks. I mean, as if they were downtown in Chicago or New York. I mean, hey, Dalton has really made a name for themselves. Hey, I hope that all of this attention makes it easier for the I don't want to say Jason, but I'll say Jason, but whoever wins the election, I hope that this makes it easier for them because, unfortunately, they're going to be scrutinized in funding. They got a lot of cleaning up to do, and they got a lot of things to correct. and to get the funding without being scrutinized. They're already going to be scrutinized for anything that they try to get from the state of Illinois. So they got a long way to go. And this new mayor is going to have their work cut out for them, and they're going to be working with in a deficit to try to get it together. So this is going to be interesting. This woman don't understand that there ain't no more money left to take. So you might want to just sit this one out. Maybe go to another one of those towns that got election coming up. But other than that, she's is not even. There's no room to get to do anything right now.
Yeah.
They
Well,
were new police department built, and they stopped that in construction.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. I feel bad for those officers who are there, and the firemen, because they weren't getting paid. It's a terrible situation to be in, and then it falls back on the residents. And here it is. We're about to go through another chapter. They're attempting to go through another chapter of it where I guess they're going to just run it into the ground so they can be what do they call it when they take a receivership, when these towns go into
Oh.
receivership.
Mm-hmm.
now that's what Cassandra wants to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
That is unbelievable. I mean, first of all, which we really shouldn't be going there, but the 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 white man is not going to save you. That's your community. And Pritzker, if he comes in and saves Dolton in any significant way, which is the reason he has not done it, he'll have to save every poor community in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people like, we got to call Pritzker. He got to take over. He ain't sending nobody because he don't want to help Dolton, because what's going to happen 5 minutes after he say, yes, I'm going to help Dolton, 20 other communities going to call him and said, we next, we next, we next. So all this, the politicians turn their back on us. The politicians did not turn their back on you. That is your job. You elected that person. You have to ride that out. Politicians are not put in office to chase other politicians out of office on TV. That's just not done. Be
right.
realistic. Get with the real world. Pritzker is not going to chase another politician unless they get indicted. Then he's going to say, they should step down. She is not indicted yet. And so all of this, and this lady running saying she wants the state to take, the state is never going to take over. Because if they do, there's plenty of other communities in Illinois, like Harvey,
Mm-hmm.
that could use their help, like Cairo downstate that can use their help. So I'm not going to even go through the list of towns that could leak that help, but that's why Pritzker got brain cells. He said, oh, I feel for them, but the feds is working on that. Lori Lightfoot's working on that, and I think we should let their thing go through. And he's right. He's 100% right. So they wrote a letter to the governor, take over. No, there's not going to be, the white man ain't going to save you. So stop asking.
Yeah, I think they're in a well. One of the things they don't understand is that Illinois has some tough times ahead as well. So
Mm-hmm.
Brisker has got he has his share of battles ahead of him. Being that he's having some issues with the migrant situation, him and Brandon Johnson,
Well, that's
and
going to go away real quick.
yeah, and they've already explained it to people who receive like SNAP benefits that hey, we no longer have the federal backing to
Mm-hmm.
replace any funds if you misuse the funds, so you're gonna have to use them wisely, and that's going to be the same for everybody across the board because Illinois is not going to have any money to really invest and help these towns or take over these towns.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
I know Cook County stepped in and took over a couple municipalities for their
Police
like
services.
police services. And you have to ask, what do they have to offer? They have things such as like let's say Robbins. Robbins has limestone. So if they took over Robbins, it's like, hey, well, they have a stake in the real estate that's there. They could find a way to make it valuable and come. But what does Dalton have? No.
Right. They have a lot of land, it's just vacant land. That's the problem, and
Right.
businesses that are closed. And hopefully that's going to be the focus of the new administration. But the new administration has got to fight with the fact they don't have money. Because I mean, one thing I think they should do in Dalton is have a cleanup program. All these people that Tiffany, she was so busy giving parties and bingo and stuff. Whatever happened to getting a broom and a dustpan and a truck and picking up trash and getting rid of
Cleaning up the neighborhood.
Right.
yes. I mean, you talk about making people's lives better by giving them food boxes. I mean, hold it. Yes, that's a need. But how many of them people actually need it where they got to wait on your food box? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
why don't you take those dollars and let's clean up the neighborhood so the whole neighborhood looks better? Okay, so people want to visit, people want to ride through your town, so your town is not a ghost town with tumbleweeds rolling up and down the streets.
Exactly.
Some
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree. Yeah, you got a point. That's all I can say. You got a point.
and
Now,
this
we know the election is coming up April 1st. What would be your advice to the residents of Dalton concerning Cassie Crash Out? What would be your advice to them?
I'd say ignore her and vote with what you already have on the table. That's what I would say. It's bad to just say this party is better than that party, and I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is he's serious and she is truly not serious, and she's threatening people. So who
She
wants
is.
to elect somebody up front that's telling you don't come up to me and ask me no questions?
She said it.
Who in the beep are you, ma'am?
She
I
said
Yeah.
it.
mean, what job do you want? I mean, you can go white work for anybody, and they're gonna ask you a lot of questions before they hire you. I don't care what job you go for. Have a seat. We're gonna ask you 1,000 questions, and if you say what she said one time in an interview, you tell a job, you an applicant going for a job, and you tell them, "Don't ask me no more questions." What they gonna say? Security, get her out of here.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, so you want to be the mayor, but they ask you questions. Don't run up on me. That's not going to work out too well for you. Hold it. Who are you? Who are
That's
you?
true.
Who
Yeah.
died and made you the queen? That's the question.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Ken,
Yeah.
what are your last thoughts to the Dalton residents?
Well, I would say if I had any advice for the Dalton residents prior to this election, I would say think about your money.
Mm,
It's about money. And we all know things are about money. And if
That's
you
true.
money wasted, so think about who's going to handle your money the best. And I mean, if you can say that she'll do better than Jason, hey, I hope you got reasons to back that up. If you can say Jason can do better than her, you at least have a background of different things that we've witnessed in the media with him trying to get transparency about the spending. So I think he's displayed what would be the a good at least the prerequisites to sit in that seat. So I haven't seen that with her. I haven't heard her say much about money and I mean, she was very general in her comments.
She ain't
But
promised to do nothing.
exactly.
no,
It's unbelievable. She has not made no promises, so you ain't got to hold her to nothing. But I would tell the Dalton residents, if you know where Tiffany stashed the money, if you know where Tiffany's hiding the money, if you know where Tiffany's investing the money, tell the feds. Rat her out so that y'all might get some of y'all money back because the feds are looking at her. And if y'all know where any of her money is hidden, okay, whether she got it in Ray Ray's name, if she got it in Pookie's name, if it's in a car wash in the basement, let the feds know because y'all should be chasing that money. Everybody that voted, if you know where some of that money is hid, tell the feds. That's what should be
Or
happening.
yeah, or some of those Amazon purchases. what did
that's
they what did they do with $40,000 of Amazon purchases?
They got some fancy new TVs,
Yeah,
man.
we never found out where all this stuff went.
And she
true.
never addressed that.
Never, not one time.
And how could you vote for it? I just find it amazing. 536 people had the who had the brain cells necessary to get out the bed and show up to vote,
They did.
voted for a person that stole their money.
That's true.
It's unbelievable.
She did
And
it.
And we can say she stole the money allegedly because she never denied it.
Yes, she
She
did. But she
never,
never denied it.
she never denied it. I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah, I think something about her knowing it was an active criminal investigation, and prevented her from speaking on it. And I think that might have been from her attorney not to make any comments on it, because if you make any comments, the next thing is questions. So you're going to start being questioned about something that we've already pled the fifth on. And unless you have your attorney present, which she's had an attorney present.
Many
Yeah, for
times.
all the
Many
meetings.
times.
Yeah, but you probably want them to answer those questions instead of you.
But
You know,
today is Sunday, and Thornton Township is Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Tuesday at 6. So tune in. I can't wait to see that. I'm gonna get some popcorn. I'm really looking Orville Redenbacher popcorn. I'm looking forward to that
yeah,
because the question is she gonna show? I suspect she's gonna show because she's got the property tax refund on there, and she also has the bonuses. And if she's not there, those two gonna get like 2 seconds of attention. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I think she's gonna show. Sooner or later, she got to show. The latest rumor, she was in LA this week. She's also been to Jamaica. So we'll see if she's back from Jamaica.
And who paid for that?
and she's had a federal tail the whole entire time, following her all the way out there.
We need to know who paid for what.
Well, that's how they know where she at, because them tails is reporting back home to their family. Say, oh yeah, I'm still on it, and she here, she there, doing this, doing
Yeah,
that. And they got pictures of her in Jamaica also. So, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
she probably think it's paparazzi.
Yeah. And she don't hear this video, so that's even better. So it's going to be some great intel. It's going to be some great intel. But we are looking forward to the day when the election is over. We can go
Right.
back to our real lives and then wait for part two, which is indictment day, when they actually come and
Absolutely.
put the cuffs on her and walk her away. That's going to be
That'll be real
we got
good.
to show back up for that.
We
We
will
Yeah.
got
definitely show back up for that. You know that. We'll be right
I,
here on that day.
oh,
Live.
she's gonna be trending for sure. That's
Definitely.
if she
So
had
I
any,
want to thank. Go ahead.
if she had any sense, she would have started a YouTube channel. You know, I think she would have just blew up and monetized. If she would have monetized the YouTube channel, she would have. She probably wouldn't even need to run for mayor.
I
You know,
wonder if you can YouTube from jail.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I
yeah.
I don't
mean,
know.
if
Maybe
she, who knows? She might be. If you can YouTube from jail, she got a chance.
she do. Maybe. Maybe.
Let's
Well, I
see.
want to thank you both for being my guests today. We will definitely be back to cover some more of the Dolton race because this is just heating up every week at this point. So I want to tell our listeners to make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you on the next episode of Criminal Justice Corner. Thank you.